All right, welcome back to the deep dive. So usually we're, talking global politics or something big.
Quantum computing last week.
Exactly. But today, we are zooming way in. We got our hands on the weekly police and sheriff reports from Antigo and Langlade County.
Mm-hmm.
And our mission really is to turn this pretty dry paperwork into the dirty tea, the stuff that actually defines a place.
It's a great way to do it. You're looking at the micro rhythms of a community, and the source material. It immediately shows you this contrast.
What's that?
You've got the city, Antigo, dealing with traffic, people arguing over stuff in stores. And then you go just outside the city limits into the county, and suddenly the problems are totally different.
Right. Agricultural?
Yeah, farm, heavy equipment, hunting, whole other world.
It's a very specific kind of chaos, for sure. Okay, so let's start where a lot of people's day starts, I guess. On the road.
In Antigo city limits.
Yeah, where it seems like the biggest challenge is just keeping all four wheels on your car. This is Tuesday, November 18th.
A rough morning for someone.
Oh, yeah. 5:54 a.m., right on the main drag, Superior Street and 10th Avenue. A driver says they got cut off by a garbage truck.
Right.
Swerve to avoid it, hit the curb, and get the front wheel clean off their vehicle.
Wow. Clean off. So that's not just a flat tire.
No. This needed a tow truck, blocked traffic, the whole deal.
And, that's the domino effect right there. It's not just a little fender bender, one aggressive move.
And a whole morning is shot.
Exactly. Huge property damage. Police have to come direct traffic. It just shows how fast a small driving dispute on a main road turns into, well, a real mess.
And Superior Street was not done for the day.
Oh, there's more.
A few hours later, around 2:23 p.m., a witness calls in, and they sound pretty frantic. They said they felt a building shake.
A building shake.
Turns out a vehicle had hit the structure.
Oh, wow. Any injuries?
Luckily, no. No injuries reported, but still.
I mean, for a car to hit a building hard enough that someone inside feels it shake, that's a high priority call. That suggests some real speed or a heavy impact. Even with no one hurt, they've got to check for structural damage, all of that.
Right. Now, let's talk traffic enforcement, because going through these reports, the Antigo police are surgical.
Meticulous.
Yeah, that's the word. It's like this constant, careful effort to ticket even the tiniest thing. We saw a bunch of citations for OWL.
Which is operating without a license.
Yep. There was one on Friday after a speeding complaint out near State Road 64 and Shady Road.
And that's pretty standard, right? Stop for one thing, like speeding, and you uncover something bigger.
Sure. But what about the really nitpicky stuff? I mean, we had late night stops for a bad headlight, no taillights at 926 South Superior. But my favorite.
Let me guess.
The stop at 535 Superior Street. The only reason for the stop. A tinted license plate cover?
Yes.
I mean, really. In the middle of the night, is that worth an officer's time?
Well, it's a great question. And it really gets into this whole philosophy of proactive policing. Some call it broken windows theory.
Okay.
The idea is you target these really small, visible infractions for a couple of reasons. First, you need to be able to identify the vehicle, so the cover is a legitimate issue.
Sure.
But second, and this is the tactical part, it's often a pretext stop.
Yeah.
It gives the officer a totally legal reason to interact with a driver who might be involved in something else, or maybe has a warrant. It's all about systematic deterrence.
So that little tinted cover is like an opening, a tool.
Exactly. It's a small hook for a potentially bigger fish.
Got it. And of course, we had the really local flavor of traffic complaints, the motorized mayhem.
The scooters.
Kids on motorized bikes on First Avenue. Then another guy got a warning for riding one on the walking trail.
And that's small town life in a nutshell, isn't it? The biggest public safety debate of the day is about kids on motorized bikes. It's that constant balance between, kids having fun and being a public nuisance.
Okay, let's shift gears. Petty crimes, the classic small town stuff.
Right.
We had some stolen money reported on State Road 64. Then this civil issue over a cell phone on Weed Street. Officers show up and you can just picture it.
This is a civil matter.
Yep. They figure that out fast and they are out of there.
Which is a huge part of the job, knowing your jurisdiction, knowing what's a crime versus what's just, a disagreement between two people that needs to be handled in court. Saves a ton of time.
But now we get to the real crime caper of the week.
I'm ready.
I'm calling it the dumpster hose caper. Saturday morning. Quick trip on 455 State Road 64. A vehicle gets gas and then just drives off.
With the hose still attached.
With the gas hose still attached to the car.
Oh, the sheer panic of that. I mean, gas drive-offs happen, but to be physically tethered to the pump,
Yeah.
that speaks to a special kind of clumsiness.
Total disarray. But the aftermath is what makes it a legend. So they flee the scene, right? And instead of, I don't know, throwing this big, bright gas hose in a ditch somewhere,
What do?
the officers find it later. In a dumpster.
In a dumpster. You can't make this stuff up.
You really can't.
I mean, that just tells you everything about their mindset. They're panicking, they need to get rid of the evidence, and they choose the most obvious public place imaginable.
It's like they wanted to get caught.
It definitely simplifies the investigation, ironically. That hose is evidence, and now it's easily found.
So note to self, maybe take a breath before you dispose of your evidence.
That is excellent life advice.
Yeah.
And we saw other classic neighborhood issues, too, like the door-to-door solicitors without permits.
Right. Officers had to tell them to knock it off until they got the paperwork.
And the landlord-tenant fight on Door Street, lock changes, possible eviction. The police are there just to keep the peace, really.
And we wrap up the petty calls with maybe the best anticlimax, 1:42 a.m. Graham Avenue and Fulton Street. A call comes in about a suspicious person.
On the move. In the middle of the night.
Yep. So officers go check it out, and they find like a guy exercising on the walking trail.
Just getting his steps in.
Just getting a late-night workout.
You know, in a big city, no one would even blink. But in a smaller town, everyone knows the rhythm of the place.
Right.
So anything moving at 1:42 in the morning that isn't a cop car is, by definition, suspicious. It really highlights that intense local vigilance.
Okay, let's head out of the city then, out into Langlade County, where the problems get bigger.
Heavier.
And way more agricultural. We're talking about the rural areas now around places like Elko.
And we start with something that, could only happen here. Early Tuesday morning, on Kelly Street, a huge hazard is reported.
A large articulating tractor had blown a tire.
And it was leaking. Beet juice ballast.
Yeah.
All over the road.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. I have to stop you. Beet juice ballast. I think most people listening, myself included, are wondering, why on earth is there beet juice in a tractor tire?
Yeah. No, it's a fair question. And it's actually pretty clever. See, those huge tractor tires, they need a ton of extra weight for traction.
You could use water, but it freezes. Calcium chloride works, but it's corrosive. Beet juice is this perfect solution. It's heavy, it's a natural antifreeze, and it's totally biodegradable.
Oh, smart.
Very. But when a tire that size blows, you're talking about hundreds of gallons of thick, sticky liquid all over the road. It's basically a specialized hazmat cleanup.
Wow. Okay, so since we're out in the county, it makes sense we're moving into hunting season drama.
Of course.
Two different calls here. First, on Potter Road, someone called asking for help to dispatch a deer. It had been injured by a bow hunter.
Ah, so that's a DNR call right away. Department of Natural Resources.
Why is that different?
Because a regulated weapon was involved. It's not just a car accident. They have to follow specific protocols. Track the animal, dispatch it ethically, and then make sure the hunter was following all the rules.
Got it. And speaking of rules, there was a call about suspicious activity on County Road F.
Let me guess. Spotlighting.
You got it. A resident heard rifle shots late at night, saw a vehicle using a spotlight. Classic illegal hunting.
Yep, that's called shining. A major violation. Immobilizing the deer with the light. That requires an immediate response from deputy. It's dangerous and illegal.
Then we have some very specific, targeted drama over on Twin View Drive. A hit and run.
Okay.
A truck crashed into a house overnight. But the caller had a theory.
They always do.
They suspected it was a contractor who was angry because he didn't get a job he bid on.
Oof. Now that is critical information.
Right.
It totally changes the investigation. It goes from a possible drunk driving incident to a potential targeted act of criminal retaliation. The deputies have to follow that lead. But you also have to wonder if it sends them down a rabbit hole, you know.
It's a double-edged sword for sure, but it does make for some great neighborhood drama.
Oh, absolutely.
Which brings us to the moments that just, they make you shake your head. The truly weird stuff.
The best stuff.
We have to start with the puzzle panic on Claremont Street.
This is one of my favorites. So the call comes in. Intense, yelling, cussing, sounds that seem physical.
Yeah, a serious domestic disturbance call. Officers are probably responding expecting the worst.
Absolutely. They go in ready for a confrontation.
They get there, brace themselves, and they find the people inside are just having fun.
And having fun means what, exactly?
It means they were putting together a puzzle.
A puzzle.
A 1,000-piece puzzle on the floor. And apparently it was a very, very difficult puzzle.
You have to see the human side of that. We've all been there with a frustrating project. But for the neighbor, hearing muffled shouts about a missing corner piece, It sounds just like a fight.
It's the ultimate anticlimax. But officers have to check it out, right?
Oh, absolutely. The law says they have to verify everyone's safety on a call like that. You could just take their word for it. It's just a perfect, strange little moment.
From puzzle parties to, well, actual chaos. Early Sunday morning in Langlade County was a lot.
It seems like a very busy Saturday night spilled over.
Yeah.
This whole cluster of incidents around County Road T and County Road U.
It really did. Around 1:00 a.m., a dark blue Ford F-350 hits and just cuts off a telephone pole on County Road T, knocks out the power.
And the driver?
Admitted to drinking, he's facing a probation hold. So a really serious incident.
Massive infrastructure damage, public safety risk. Yeah.
But just 4 minutes before that call came in, another call. A guy is found just walking on the road nearby, County Road UNT.
Yeah, he says.
Says he'd been jacked by his buddy.
So these people were all probably together. It sounds like one big party that just spectacularly fell apart.
Yep. One friend crashes, another gets left on the side of the road. There was even another call about two people fighting in an SUV on US 45 around the same time.
It's just this cascade of alcohol-fueled problems. And for a small sheriff's office, 3 or 4 related incidents like that in a remote area all at once, that drains your resources fast.
And then shifting gears to something actually disturbing, the DNR mystery on Winter Road.
Yeah, this one is different. A skinned deer carcass found in a ditch.
With the head and the legs removed.
That's not roadkill. That's deliberate poaching.
Right.
The removal of those specific parts, the head for antlers and the legs for meat, signals someone who knows what they're doing. This is a serious wildlife crime investigation.
A completely different category of police work.
Entirely.
And finally, the most terrifying false alarm of the week, a distress call from a satellite iPhone near Rose Lake Road.
And the report was...
Someone on fire.
Oh, wow. So fire and EMS, they're racing out to a remote location thinking the worst.
Exactly. And what caused it, a hunter was doing a deer drive.
A deer drive, yeah, where they push the deer towards other hunters.
And he dropped his phone. The impact, maybe the angle, the rough terrain, something triggered the emergency feature. And the system interpreted it as a full-blown fire.
That is a perfect example of new safety tech creating new problems. I mean, it's an amazing feature, but it needs context. A simple drop in the woods triggered a massive emergency response.
Right, and you have to treat it as real until you know otherwise.
Every single time. You can't take the chance.
So looking back on the week, we had everything from tinted license plate covers
To a gas hose found in a dumpster.
a giant tractor leaking beet juice on Kelly Street.
And a puzzle argument that sounded like a brawl.
It really is an incredible snapshot of life in a small town and the country around it.
It is. It shows just how varied the demands are on law enforcement. You go from mediating a landlord dispute 1 minute
To managing a bio-friendly hazmat spill the next.
and then investigating a poaching case or a major drunk driving crash. It just never stops.
So what's the moral of the week here? What do we take away from all this?
Well,
I think it's simple. Always double check if the screaming from your neighbor's house is, a domestic issue or just a really, really intense jigsaw puzzle session.
and maybe remember that if you're driving without a license, the police will probably find out when you speed.
Or when your taillight burns out.
Exactly.
Words to live by.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the local life of Antigo and Langlade County. We'll catch you next time.